Good morning. Welcome to Make It Monday with Overture Arboretum. My name is Victoria, if you haven't joined us before. Today we are going to make a DIY puzzle with a photo that you have. So basically what you need are a printout of a photo. So I did one up and down and one side to side. This is me and my husband at a Longhorn game here in Austin. And then this is my husband on a cruise. So I'm gonna do both of them for you. The other things that you'll need are scissors to cut off the excess of your picture. Just to note, my picture is just printed off of the computer. I just use regular paper. You don't need anything fancy as far as photo paper or anything like that. Just a black and white picture works. The other thing you need is a little paintbrush to use with your Mod Podge, which is an adhesive. So this is what's gonna adhere the picture to your popsicle sticks. So I have a giant thing of popsicle sticks. I will not use them all, but this is what we're gonna use as our puzzle piece backing. And then you can also use this as a sealer on the top of your picture, or you can use the Mod Podge. It's totally up to you and what you have time for. So I'm gonna do both for you so you can see. So what we want to do first is cut out our picture so that we take all the excess off of the picture. So I'm going to do that. And you can use any picture. You also can get it down to a smaller size. Mine, I used the 3x5. You can do bigger if you want to. The only thing is that it depends on how big your popsicle sticks are, is how big you should be doing that. So mine, I just did it basically the length of a popsicle stick. All right, so there's one. And then I'm gonna cut my other one. So these are really great for little gifts for friends and family members. I've sent them to my grandparents before, you know, with a picture from my honeymoon or something that I had with them that I wanted to share the picture with them, but I wanted to do it in a fun way. But this is perfect to do right now. You can make a ton of these and send them to all of your friends while we're all social distancing. And it's a nice reminder of time when we weren't social distancing. And it's just a fun way to, instead of give somebody a picture, a print, you're giving it in some different way. So it's kind of fun, especially for grandkids, younger kids. It's fun for them to be able to see themselves or a loved one in this form. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab some popsicle sticks. Okay, so we're first going to start by, I'm going to do one at a time, so I'm going to do our Longhorn picture first. What you want to do is take your brush and do a thin layer on the back of the actual photo. So I'm going to take my Mod Podge, which is right here. This is a clear adhesive, and if you want to see, this is exactly what it looks like. You can get big bottles, small bottles, they're very inexpensive. Just make sure you're getting the clear one. Just put a little bit on there. It's gonna be a thin coat, and you just do it across. And you wanna do the entire back of your photo. You are gonna get a little sticky, but this comes off really easy on your skin. If you just use like detergent, it'll come off. Okay, so now that that is done, we're gonna go ahead and lay our popsicle sticks down. So mine's a little bit bigger than the actual popsicle stick, so I'm gonna go down to the edge and lay my popsicle stick so that if I need to cut any excess off the top, I'm able to do that. And then you're just gonna lay them side by side. then just make sure you're kind of tapping them down as you go so it really adheres. And depending on how much you put on of the Mod Podge on the back of your photo will depend on how long it takes for it to dry. But it really should not take much time at all. I would say probably maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're just gonna make sure it's all on there. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry on the side. So I'm gonna set this on the side and let that dry, and we'll do the other one. So again, just a thin coat of Mod Podge, which is the glue adhesive that dries clear. And you want to get all of it, all the corners. And it will roll up on you like that, and that's fine because you're gonna put the popsicle sticks on there. So it will be just fine. Okay, so here we go with some more popsicle sticks. So I basically was lining up the edge with my popsicle stick and then just kind of laying it down. You can also put these in little bags. I know online, like on Amazon, you can get like little cloth or the little see-through bags. And you can do like a stamp on the bag. If you have stamp supplies or paint supplies, you can put something really cute on it and then put your puzzle pieces in the bag. So I'm not going to show you that today, but it's super easy. Just grab a bag from online and you can just stick it in there. If you don't have a bag, you can always use a sandwich bag, and you can always print out a cute little note to attach to it. Just try and keep the edges as lined as possible. My edge on this one is a little bit over, but I don't have, my popsicle stick is too big, so I'm just gonna keep that blank, and I'm just gonna cut it to where it matches. So we're just gonna let that dry, and then I will cut it and show you exactly what I mean. All right, so put that to the side. Let's see how this one's going. And it's pretty much almost dry. So you can see there, the front of it, I got a little bit poking out here, so I'll do that here on the same side. And it's okay if you got a little bit on the front because you're gonna seal the front too. So I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm just gonna cut up against, If you wanna be really good, you could always just measure the length of the popsicle stick and then resize your photo to match that. And then you probably won't have any excess. But I didn't have time for that. I thought I did it right, but I didn't. I thought I had the right length. Anyways, so there is your little guy. And then let's see how this guy's doing. He's still got a little ways to go. Do be careful though. You can see if you put too much Mod Podge on it, it starts to pull the picture. And then you lose and distort some of the picture that you're putting up. So if you want to do a close-up of that, JT. All right, so the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna put a sealer over the top to seal the rest of it in. So since this one's already finished and dry, I'm gonna let that one dry for a little bit more and then I'll cut it. We're gonna put a sealer over this one. So you can do the Mod Podge again and then just do a coat over the top of it. Or you can actually, if you have this or if you wanna buy it, you can actually buy a spray sealer. So I'm gonna use the spray sealer on this one and the Mod Podge on the other one since it does take a little bit longer for the Mod Podge to dry than the aerosol sealer. Well, if I could get it open, there we go. So I will say do this in an open area. We're in a big room, so it's not gonna be as bad, but this stuff does really stink. It just is a really chemical smell because it is chemical. So you will just do a light coat. It basically smells like spray paint. You'll do a coat over it, just like that. And then let that dry so that it seals it. Okay, so I'm gonna move this one over just a tad. And then we're gonna see what's going on with the other one. All right, so everything is dry on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the excess. Make sure you're planning your pictures right on here so that if you do have excess, you're not cutting someone off or anything like that. You can see I did it so that the side was cutting off the ocean and not my husband. Okay. So there's my excess. And this one, I'm actually gonna use the Mod Podge. So we're gonna do another thin coat. And you can see it comes out white on here, but I promise it goes on, it ends up drying clear. The only thing about the Mod Podge is it is going to leave streaks. So if you want a little bit cleaner of a look, I highly suggest using the aerosol sealer. And you'll see what I mean once this actually dries. But you can kind of see in the white, even though it's going to be clear, you'll still kind of see those ridges once it's dry. So we will let these dry for just a second before we move on. This one's almost ready. I can see just a couple of little wet spots here, so we'll just wait 1 second. And if you want to, so I have my directions here. This is something I just got off of Pinterest. That's where a lot of the things that I get are from. But you can see here, this is where the inspiration is from. If you can focus on that. And it's just a fun little idea. It's a great little personalized gift to put in, you know, a bigger gift or, you know, just something in the mail that you want to send in a stocking. Because believe it or not, we're halfway through the year and Christmas is right around the corner. So, let's see. We're almost there with this one. Now with the pictures, I do suggest doing black and white just because some of the ink may run if you use a colored, but try it out. Do a black and white and a colored one. The other thing too is if you use an inkjet printer, Just be careful with how much Mod Podge or sealer that you're putting on, because it can smear. So just make sure you're doing it really lightly, and then really give it a good time to dry so that you're not smearing the color around or even the black and white around, just to make sure that that's not affected. Okay, so this one's pretty well dry, so we're gonna go ahead and cut them out. So for this, you can use like an X-Acto knife or some sort of craft knife. I do not have one of those, so I'm gonna use an actual box cutter. And so basically what you're doing is you're just going in between. And there's a puzzle piece. For this, make sure you're being really gentle. You may have to go over a couple of times, just because remember, it is paper still. If you end up trying this, I suggest trying it with photo paper. If you have photos that you just want to do this with, I'm sure it would work just about the same. This is just for if you do not have the time to print out the pictures or the resources. This is also a good alternative. I do suggest also doing a little bit longer than I did. Obviously I'm on live video and I'm trying to show you guys quickly how to do it, but you can see mine wasn't fully dry, and so it's kind of pulling away some of the pictures. So I would just suggest really letting it dry for maybe 20 minutes, just so you have a full picture. The other cute thing that you can do with these as well is before you cut it, so you can see I have a whole little jigsaw puzzle. So let's see if I can put it together. I see feet here, torsos, hookums, heads, tops of heads, and there you go. Whoops. So there's my puzzle. So I can give that to my husband or whoever. Obviously, like I said, make sure you get it to dry thoroughly enough before you do it. Otherwise it is gonna rip away that paper. So that's why I'm saying try the photo paper. It might kind of hold up better on there, but for the most part the top was dry, and so it cut pretty nicely. If I would have waited for the bottom to dry, it probably would have cut really nice too. So the other thing I was going to show you before we sign off, and I'll cut this off camera because it's still wet, the thing you can do, you can also put a secret message on the back. So you can write something on each individual popsicle stick, and then when they put the photo together, they're able to, and I didn't do it on this one, but they're able to flip it over and see a secret message that you may have put on there. So, you know, it can be anything like, I don't know, I love you, or happy birthday, or I don't know, maybe you're gonna be a grandparent. I don't know, something, but you can put that on the back and then they can read that awesome message. So that is the craft of the day for Make It Monday. Again, all you need are popsicle sticks, Mod Podge, a picture that you printed out, and then a little, you know, X-Acto knife or craft or something for you to be able to cut them apart. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you do this on your own, or if you use the photos on real photo paper, let me know. I want to know how it works out. I will probably try it later on with the photo paper once I have that available to me. So I hope you enjoy your week, and happy Memorial Day weekend for all of our veterans, and we'll see you again next Monday.